Let's solve this question right here. So obviously it's a break-even question. Like we talked about in the last video, we learned the break-even formulas. Now we're going to do a question. So a company is selling one product for $50 per unit. The variable cost per unit is $30 and the company has a fixed cost of $40,000 per year. So we have to calculate break-even point in units, means of course how many units I need to sell to break even, and break-even point in dollars. So for now I will copy the formulas for you because this is the first time you're learning this, so not a problem. Next time of course I will expect you to know the formulas, like when you're solving this again. Of course in the future videos I'm not going to ask you this again, but you should rewatch the videos and try to solve the questions from memory. Okay, now to do break even in units I need the fixed cost. So why don't we fill out the formula. Fixed cost will be 40,000 and we divide it by the contribution margin per unit, and we know contribution margin means sales price minus the variable cost per unit. So can I say $50 is the sales price, $30 is the variable cost per unit, so contribution margin will be 20 because 50 minus 30, let me mention it here for you just so you know what I'm doing, 20. So if we solve this, we will get break even units that we need to sell to not lose any money or make a profit. So this is break even in units. Very simple. As you can see, just use the formula and you'll be fine. And then let's do break even in dollars. I hope you remember the trick I told you. If you know the units, you can just multiply the units by the sales price per unit, which is 50. It always comes in handy to know all of these quick ways to solve things. However, I also want to show you the separate way to do this as well with its own formula, which is this one. So let's do that with using this formula, at least so we are able to know all of the ways to solve this, at least all of the common ways, let's say. There we go. Now we have to put in the fixed cost, which of course again is 40,000, divided by contribution margin ratio. What is contribution margin ratio? Contribution margin per unit divided by sales price per unit. So if I directly solve it here, what is the contribution margin per unit? We already found out it's 20, divided by sales price per unit, which we also know is 50 according to the question. If I put this here, now if I solve this, I will get the break even in dollars just like I got here. So if I divide this by 40, there we go. So if you can see, you get the same answer in both approaches. So use the one that is applicable to the question, because sometimes the data is given in a way that only one of these ways is possible to solve the dollars part of it. So at least now you know both of them. And one other thing I would like to mention. In some questions, when you solve the break even in units, you wouldn't get this like a very clean answer like 2000 units. It will be like a points in decimals. For example, this is just an exam tip, right? Just so you know how to do this. Let's say in the exam you're solving a break even in units question, and the break even in units answer comes out as 200 and let's say 2.35. And let's say you have options, right, in the multiple choice question. Please remember, whenever we find break even in units in decimals, we always have to round up. I know mathematically, since this is below 5, we will have to round down, but not in break even topic. In CVP topic, we always have to round up. So please remember, in the exam you'll write this as 203 units. Logically speaking, the reasoning for this is, we know if I go below the break even, I will lose profit, right? I'll lose money, I will make a net loss. So to avoid that, we want to sell little bit more rather than little bit less to go into a loss. So that's basically one additional thing I want to talk about. So in the next video, we'll talk about target profit in units and how to find target profit in dollars.